Hey guys, it's Babypowder, and we're back with another one of our clean out videos for our 200 run series part 2. And this is going to be week 17. Last week we ended up adding our loot from Mana Tombs and Blood Furnace, so we'll be looking to see whether or not we sold any of those blood scale pieces. If we got really lucky and sold one of those or both of those two epic patterns we got, which is unfortunate because we only got one epic from each. I feel like Blood Furnace was definitely a win though, because they actually got us the blood scale pieces I was really after. I was more so looking to hopefully, get some epic drops from Mana Tombs, but felt kind of shy with only one epic drop. But I actually filled up the, auction house, better than I thought maybe with some of the other items we got from there. So either way, we'll be looking to see if we sold any of those. Of course, we'll be looking to see if we sold anything from our farms before, and really just looking to see if we can hit 200,000. As far as our review goes here, let's go ahead and dive in. We ended up making 724,166 gold last week, which is really good. We aimed for at least 200,000. Like I mentioned, that brought us up to 5,810,000 gold, leaving us with only 4,189,000 left to reach our 10 million goal. We're also tracking the stuff from our first series, which we only made 78,000 this week. It keeps on dropping down, but this may have just been a bad week overall, even though we only had about 113,000 the week before. We have those since we've started this series with those items. They're not getting anything extra, so it's just kind of like passive gold. They have made us 4.6 million, so, or actually 4.7 million now, adding in the 78. So really good still with just kind of passive gold there. As far as when we were at week 17, or actually concluded week 17, we ended up with 3,261,000. So we're already above that, which means no matter what we get today, it's going to be a win for us. But we still want to aim for the 200,000 because we want to hit 10 million as fast as possible, right? Don't want anything slowing us down. It'd be awesome if we could still keep this momentum of being at least over 500,000 like we've been for the past 3 weeks. But, we'll have to see if that happens. Really not going to be hard to beat week 17 for the first 200 run series, as they only made 61,000 this week, almost 62,000. It was really rough. There was like 3 things going on at that time though. I mean, I think Diablo just had a big patch or something. We also had the Mists of Pandaria stuff going on, and you had the Cataclassic come out, I believe is what the third thing was. So a lot of things kind of kept us from really hitting the mark there and getting any sales. Hopefully we're not too affected this week with anything keeping us below the 200,000. So even though we want to beat the 61 to 62,000, we still want to at least hit 200,000. But anyway, guys, as far as everything else we're tracking here, with the transmog so far, we've made 5,131,000 of the 810,000 we've made so far, which, that's to be seen. We mostly are aiming for the transmog, so that's where the majority of our gold is going to come from. Though materials have actually helped out. We actually did make 679,000 so far with just materials, and actually had a big week for materials last week with 126,000 gold. I do see us making some material gold this week with like the corium veins and other stuff we're getting out of there. We're also getting primals and things. I don't think it's going to add up to that much, but still everything helps, right? As far as how we're tracking this and where we're selling stuff, we're doing this between 2 different realms, Proudmoore and Thrall, and so far Proudmoore has made us the most at 3,217,000 with Proudmoore, and Thrall has actually made us 2,592,000, which is still a really good amount. But either way, even if we were only doing this on one realm, well, we'd be doing less runs, so we maybe get more variety up on the auction house, so maybe that we could make a little bit more than each realm is making. But at the same time, we may only have like 3.2 million or 2.5 million instead of the 5.8. So looking really good though with that. So that's why it's always good to do more than one realm. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. Before we get to our bake off, so I'd just like to remind you, if you do like these videos, smash the big thumbs up. Lets me know that you enjoy it. Also helps out the channel. And do not forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. All right, guys, we'll start this out as we always do. We'll first check on Proudmoore, see how they're doing this week. We'll check their low value transmog, then the high value transmog, and then we'll wrap it up with the materials, and then we'll switch to Thrall and do the exact same thing. All right, guys. So first up is Proudmoore. Like I mentioned, low value transmog. And we have 54 cells, 95,123 gold. Wow, for the low value portion, that is great. It's almost 100,000. And honestly, we really usually see the high numbers with the low value transmog. I feel like happens on Thrall majority of the time. They have actually had some decent sales over here, but majority of the time, it seems like the low value stuff goes to Thrall. So hopefully they're cooking over there too, and we can actually have some good sales on their low value and of course high value where we see the exciting stuff. We want that for, you know, them as well. But this is really good. 54,000, you know, or 54 items and 95,000 means we're well above that 1,000 average per cell that we like to be at. So it's looking really good. As far as what we sold here, the standouts, we got Prospector Mitts at almost 3,000. We got Chest Guard of Illumination at 3,000. We have High Chief's Crown at a little over 10,000. Really nice on that one. Arcanite Bow, that's going to be a WAD piece, which we'll be getting back to WAD here soon with Iron Docs, 7,800. We also have Lupine Vest at 1,300. Ceremonial Leather Harness at 4,700. And the Judge's Gavel at 9,000. I believe that came from BRD, so that was pretty recent. We got the Blood Spattered Loincloth at 18, almost 1,900. We also have the pattern for the Stylish Green Shirt at 1,300. We have Grunt Ankle Wraps at 3,000. One good thing to note with this one too, I think that was under 5,000. So that was one of those lower items with a high, you know, sell rate that kept. We also have, let's see here, Bloodscale Belt. Here's our Bloodscale pieces. We already selling them first week, 3,000. Bloodscale Sabatons for almost 6,000. Also have a low one here with the breastplate, 475 gold. This one had a lot of share appearances too, so I didn't expect to get too much out of the chest pieces. They weren't really as great as some of the others. Bloodscale Bracers, only 350. Bloodscale Gauntlets, again, 4,750. Bloodscale Pauldrons, 4,000. And then we have Tyrant's Leg Plates. That's only 712. Recipe for the Goldthorn Tea. So 1,800 for that. That came from when we did RFD, which we'll be going back to soon. I probably won't pick up any more of these. I still got plenty of these laying around. I probably need to pull some out of the vault, but I do have plenty of those. You can get one each run you do. And then Buccaneer's Vest for 1,700. Man, I remember when these were actually up and we were actually getting, you know, like 20,000 for these, or somewhere near there. Bloodmane Sword for 1,000. I think that's WAD. And then we have Giant's Leg Bone for 1,800. I think that actually just came from our, I can't remember if it came from Mana Tombs or it came from doing Blood Furnace, but that is actually, I believe, from BC. Creeper Claw, 1,800. We got the Gold Rock Sabatons for 1,100. Both of those WAD. And then we have a Moon Whisper ring. A ring actually sold for 4,500. Somehow missed putting in the 1,000 group. You know, very nice. We actually got a decent sell on a ring there. Then 2 of the Dark Iron Baby Booties from BRD. Nice. Sold a couple of those. 2,300 for both of those. And that's about it. That was a lot though, because there's 54 sales. All right, guys. So now on to the high value transmog for Proudmoore, where we expect to see the exciting stuff. And honestly, they have not let us down recently. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We've got 8 sales, 125,609 gold. So not, you know, extremely high, but it's over 100,000. So it's great. And that puts us over 200,000. We're already there. So anything we get from the other, you know, areas, which we would love for them to be around the same or even higher, because, you know, Thrall has some catching up to do to Proudmoore. But anything they get is, it doesn't really matter too much. We're already over our goal of 200,000 a week. So we've got, first up, Demon Slayer sold for 4,000. We got Sunsworn Transcription for 2,800. We have a Dwarven Halberd for 4,750. Dwarven Halberd, is that from Outland or from BC? I'm not sure. We got the Kroll Blade here. So that came from our BRD runs. It's an epic. 59,000. Definitely did not expect to sell that one already. I've sat on those in the past for a long time. So really nice in getting that value out of it. Headshrieker's Cow actually came from when we were doing Islands. 34,000 for that one. We have the Plundered Pirate Admirals, whatever, 8,800 also from Islands. We got the Windtalker boat. Now that did come from our BC runs, 9,500. Now you may think, well, hey, you know, the loot video, that thing was valued at like over 100,000. At the same time, and it is unique, it's maybe that it's overvalued. And the reason why I say that is when I actually posted, I actually did pay attention to this one. It actually was like multiples of these posted around that amount. So it may be that even though, just like sometimes even if they have multiple appearances, may not be overinflated. It may be that this one's overinflated, and that's actually a decent price for this one. I'll take it. It's sold right away. We still got plenty. You know, that's another thing. We ended up with like 4 of them in our run. So it seems like, you know, they were pretty common, although sometimes, you know, things over 100,000 can drop that often. It does happen if you get really lucky. Plundered Dark Scale Blade. I'm not sure where that one came. Oh, Plundered came from. It's almost 2,000 there. All right, guys. So last bank alt for Proudmoore, we got the materials bank alt here, and we should have, you know, the Corium veins and stuff. We may still have some pets, and we still have some auction house modules from WOD. Hopefully we've sold some of those things too. But if not, the others should be pretty good. We got 21 sales at 19,486 gold. Let's see what we sold here. So we've got, well, one of the module pieces for the open world, you know, pieces. We've got 1,896 gold for this silical power framing. We also have our primal shadow, 86 pieces sold for 4,000. Eternium bars sold 65 of those for 3,200. We also sold 4 primal fires for almost 1,400. Corium bars, we sold 13 of those for 5,700. Also have the hardened adamantite bars, 38 of those for 2,000. Those are sometimes a very, very slow seller, so we may still actually have some more of those. Well, we also sold Primal Earth, not too bad, 47 of those for 679, and that's about it. All right, guys, so here we now are at Thrall, and we're doing the exact same rotation. So low value transmog up first. Let's take a look. 20 sales, 28,085 gold, really good still. We're over the 1,000 gold average per sell, but man, after seeing 95,000 with Proudmoore, you're kind of hoping it was going to be up there too with Thrall, but either way, it's still a good week. Let's go ahead and take a look at what they sold. We got Elegant Leggings, always good sales with them, 2,300. I mean, they sell really fast. Shardback Helm, I believe that was from Skyreach, 17, almost 1,800. We have the plans for the hard Corium breast battle plate. Probably came from BC, 4,200. Then we have the dark iron baby booties. Hey, we only sold 1 pair, but actually this 1 pair sold for more than both of theirs, so 76.90 on those. Feral harness for 2,600. All right, and on to high value transmog on Thrall. We've got 5 cells, 37,729 gold. Man, Thrall really is, you know, they did good last week. They actually did better than Proudmoore, but then they fall behind again. You know, at some point though, they're gonna make a comeback. It just has to happen. They have to start getting some sales here. And, but anyway, still, you know, we're doing good this week. We'll take what we got. Let's see what we have sold here. So Glorious Shoulders sold for 4,200. Bloodscale legs, so we sold a pair of the legs, only 6,000, but they're right above that 20,000 mark, so we'll take it. It's still a quick sell on those. We also have Jade legs sold for 18,000, almost 19,000. Another Bloodscale legs, actually, so 2 of them for you know, the same price, right over 6,000. And then we also sold a Thistle Tea pattern, so 2,300 for that one. All right, guys, so our last bank alt before we pull our sheet back up and, you know, see everything that we did here. Let's take a look at the materials for Thrall, and we've got 25 sales, 22,781 gold, so a little bit more than Proudmoore actually. So let's see what we sold here. We've got the hardened adamantite bars, 37, around the same amount, 2,000. We also have Primal Earth, 57 of them though, at 1,356, so definitely made more off the Primal Earth than we did with Proudmoore. It may have been spaced out too, so who knows. It's just a bigger stack at once. Primal Shadow, 81 of those for almost 4,000, getting kind of close to it anyway. Primal Fire, 4 of those for 1,389. We have Corium bars, 17, sounds about the same, 7,400 for those. We also, though, we sold the Firestein Buzzer, so this is what made the difference. Is one of those pets from WOD we sold for 2,100. You know, it's about you know, a little like 3,000 above. and some other little things may have made up the difference too. We also sold the turning bars, 46 of those for 2,400. All right, guys, so back to our clean out sheet. And to conclude, week 17, after doing Mana Tombs and Blood Fires, we'll add in those to our auction houses. Man, we didn't make it over that 500,000 that we were been doing for like the last 3 weeks, and even the week before that was kind of close, and the week before that was above it. So but we did actually beat the 200,000 and you know, decent amount. So they can't all be winners, and actually this one's still kind of a winner, because really it's not a winner if we are below the 200,000, which has happened. So anyway, as far as our transmog, we made 286,546 gold. With our materials, we made 42,267 gold, which is, you know, quite a bit below what we made last week in materials, but hey, that's still a really good amount. It's not our worst. We've made less than 1,000 there. And for our total for the week, we made 328,813 gold. So over 100,000 above what we really are striving for each week. But it is below what we made last week, but it still dominates the series one with their, you know, small, almost 62,000. That does now bring us to a grand total of 6,139,337 gold, which is excellent. I mean, that's that's great. That leaves us with less than 4 million to hit our goal, which is 3,860,000 to hit that goal of 10 million. As far as our transmog, now we have made 5,417,000 with that alone, and we've now made 721,000 with just our materials. As far as our realms, Proudmoore and Thrall, Proudmoore again extends their lead. It's not a competition. We're just using the two realms to hit 10 million as fast as possible, but it is nice to see how they're performing, and Proudmoore is way outperforming Thrall. But it's been like that before with the series one, and it did a total 180. So we'll see if that can happen again. But Proudmoore did make us 240,000 this week, and Thrall only made us 88,000, bringing it to a grand total for Proudmoore at almost 3, getting close to 3.5 million, and Thrall at almost 2.7 million they've made us so far. Still good amounts on each realm. That actually means though that Proudmoore alone has actually made more for us, just the one realm, than we did for the whole series one realm. Again, series one was kind of a slower, you know, steady thing where we were only adding one farm each week, because we wanted to kind of see how each time we added something new it built up, not necessarily seeing how well that farm, you know, gave us sales, but more so just seeing as we increased our stock as the sales improved. So it's kind of a slower thing, whereas now we're just, you know, throwing stuff up on the auction house as soon as the week ends, and seeing what sales we get each week. I don't put anything up in the middle of the week, of course, but that's because we cover the loot videos. But it does make a difference, of course, as we've kind of been able to tell here. Although really we were getting better sales the first time around at the very beginning. It was kind of funny to see that happen. But yeah, guys, that's going to pretty much do it for this one. Just again, if you guys do enjoy these videos, smash the big thumbs up. Lets me know that you enjoy them. Also, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one, or like so you don't miss the loot videos. Like next we have Stratholme coming back up. See what we got from there, if we got anything good. Also, I was going to extend it to the next week. We were actually going to do Scarlet Monastery, and it's going to be kind of a different take to it. I'm doing every single wing, and I'm actually going to have each wing separated out, so that way we can kind of see if they differ a little bit with the 4 different wings with Scarlet Monastery Old. And so yeah, I actually may be able to get that finished before you know, tonight ends, and we can actually get that up on the actual you know, same video as Strat, and then we'll just move everything else up again as well. So anyway, guys, that again, like I said, concludes this clean out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We made some gold. We made over the 200,000, and that's what we aim to do, and we're getting closer to 10 million. Oh, real quick, guys, I almost forgot to mention which you guys will see on the next video, but I wanted to give, you know, pretty decent heads up just in case you missed the next one. We will have one more clean out, and then we will take a week off because I will be going on vacation after next week's clean out, which means there won't be a loot video in between. Or actually, there will be a loot video, but there won't be a clean out or a loot video after next week's. So we'll have a loot video this Wednesday. We should have a loot video next Wednesday when I'm actually on vacation, because I'll have it pre-recorded, and so I will actually do it early. But past that, we will not actually have one the following weeks. So just wanted to kind of get it out there early in case you were doing something you missed the next video. But anyway, guys, once again, that's it for this one. I hope to see you all live on Twitch and in the next video. Take care, guys.